Hello there. I'm giving this format a whirl because I find it's actually much easier for me to talk than writing. It lets me ramble a little bit more, and I wanted to give something a try, which is something I've seen a lot of YouTube videos doing, which is talking about Myers-Briggs personality type and about what we're supposed to be in particular. And every time I've tried so far, I've ended up rambling massively off topic, and today is the day I've decided I don't care anymore. So I'm basically going to ramble about some observances I've had about being an INTP. For those of you who don't know, look it up on Wikipedia. It's the Myers-Briggs personality type, and I've got my issues with it, but the personality type I've been given seems pretty accurate. INTP is introverted, intuitive, thinking perceiver. And basically that means we are big dorks. We are the adult AV club. We are the people you should fear because we are the ones plotting to take over the world, and the people you should feel very comfortable about because we'll probably forget about it in a couple minutes. I was reading a thread today on a message board that I frequent, which is Typology Central now? I think so. And I'll probably post this there too to get comments about how intuitive thinkers get hurt. And I can't speak for everybody else, but I really don't get hurt by other people very much. I am very free with my understanding, and in fact, I appreciate it when people are completely honest with me, even when it's about something that is hurtful to me. I appreciate knowing where other people are coming from, and I really enjoy it. My main frustration with people is when I know they're mad at me and they refuse to acknowledge it. I would much rather have it out there in the open and get yelled at than deal with passive aggressiveness or whiny behavior that has nothing to do with what's actually wrong. And I encourage that in my friends, and I encourage that in anybody I'm dating, is complete openness. I deal well with subtlety, but I don't care for it. I know when people are bullshitting me, and I don't care for that in anyone that I like. And I try to operate that way with others as well. The way I get hurt is self-inflicted. I am a master at torturing myself over things that have gone so far away from everyone else's mind. Every moment that I did something stupid or something that I regret, every moment that I have intentionally or unintentionally hurt somebody else, or done something below my capacity and below what I'm worthy of, is something that I will beat myself up over for. Thinking back, since I was 6, so math has never been my strong suit. Well over 14 years, 12, 14 years. What am I saying? 6, I'm 24. Somebody else do the real math, because I'm rambling into a camera and this is getting embarrassing. So yeah, I would say one major trait that we have is self-criticism. That, well, at least I have a tendency to be very clear at what I am good at and what I am not good at. And to be honest, it's pretty accurate. But my inability to forgive myself for occasionally not being good at something is not a good trait, and it's one I regret. But as far as pain other people can inflict on me, rarely has anyone intentionally caused me serious wounds. People have tried, but I don't mind. I personally, if you're intentionally trying to hurt me, either A, I've come to deserve it, or B, you're an asshole. Either way, I don't care. If it's the first case, I just want to know how I've hurt you. If it's the second case, I want to disassociate myself from you very quickly. I don't need you. It's that introverted tendency that I can shut you off anytime I want or anytime I need to. I don't want to do that most of the time. Being introverted doesn't necessarily mean I don't care about people, but I don't need them like I see so many other people do. I don't need to constantly reflect and worry on, do the right people like me? It doesn't matter to me. The people I like should like me, but I like them because they're not assholes and they're not trying to hurt me and they're not trying to beat me down. And that's it. That's the end of story for me. The only time I can think of that I'm ever hurt is when I do something that I think is awesome, that is out of my way, that never receives acknowledgement. I don't want constant praise, but I want people to know that I'm good at it, and I want people to know that they appreciate that fact in me. It doesn't have to be all the time if it's something that I do regularly, but the occasional notice matters a lot and stretches pretty far for me. As long as I know that people notice when I do it. If it's something they said in the past and I know they're thinking it now, that's plenty. And that's the only time people really unintentionally hurt me. I would really just say being an INTP is all about the damage you do to yourself. That we are possibly the most self-absorbed human beings on the face of the earth. And I mean that in the literal sense, that we are completely absorbed in ourselves, in our thoughts, in our dreams, and our wishes. And we are able to build very much of our own little world in there, where very little outside can penetrate too far unless we let it. That it is very easy for us to dismiss what goes on outside our heads. Not that it doesn't bother us, but it never cuts too deep unless we want it to cut too deep. Unless it's something we feel like we deserve to be punished for. Most of the subconscious damage done to us is damage we do to ourselves. And I can safely say I've done a lot of damage to myself over the years, but I feel like a process of an INTP growing up is acknowledging that we have something to damage, acknowledging how we do it to ourselves, and acknowledging how if we can damage ourselves so badly, how much do we do it to other people? If we, as people who are least likely to be hurt by things, can still hurt ourselves, how many times have we hurt somebody else and never noticed, or never said sorry, or never did anything to indicate that what we said, right or wrong, was too far? That's a skill set I'm working on, and I think it's a skill set a lot of people I know who fall into that category need to work on. It's fine to be self-absorbed, but keep locked into reality. Don't become so self-absorbed that other people are nothing more than actors in the little play you've got going on in your head, or pieces of data in the experiment you're working. It's great building models and building systems. I love doing it. I love getting my hands in there and really grasping what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in the real core of the world. But in doing that, no matter how interesting we might find it, we have to understand that people have cores too, and that those matter, even if they don't always interest us, that it does have relevance, and that especially with friends and family, it's something we should care about. And I think once we acknowledge that we should care about it, for me anyway, it's been a short step to actually caring about it and occasionally even getting emotional about it, which is, wow, hard. Hard for me. So, I think that's enough rambling. I might do this again if, it works out. But for now, I have mortified myself enough. So, good night, y'all.